We have, I think, 9 people watching at the. We're waiting.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, and I believe we're live. Hey, everybody! I'm glad you could join us. Welcome to Bad Science Sunday. I think you have the wrong thing up.
I didn't.
Am I supposed to be here in double?
No.
What do I have? Yep. Sorry. There we go.
All right, beautiful.
That was my bad.
What did you say? Hear my voice again.
I was trying to figure it out because normally, so from my perspective, that's indistinguishable from the thing that always happens, which is I have the tab and then it starts. So I was like, I must have the tab open twice, but no, I was just sharing. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, twice. All right, we got a few special guests today. Al, since we usually have different people at the beginning than at the end, why don't you tell us who are you? What do you do?
I'm Al Trucker. Mostly I truck, but I also comment on everybody's stuff on YouTube, and then sometimes I'm on my own channel, and sometimes I'm on as a regular person on a guy called Slim Cyborg. So some people might see me there. Apart from that, I just I haul shit around. Was I allowed to say shit this early on? Sorry.
What is monetization?
I don't know.
Steph,
I think it's like the first minute or two.
I retract it.
Steph, your turn. Who are you? What do you do?
I'm Stephanie Helms. I'm a sailmaker, and I talk shit on YouTube and occasionally on the various forms of social media, and I show up here and there. I've been on The Line and some of those shows. Transatlantic Calling Show, and I have my channel as well, where I go off on crazy rants from time to time, and sometimes just talk about sailing.
Awesome. And new special guest, Dr. Deino. Tell everybody where they can find you and what they can find when they find you.
Hi, howdy, hey. I'm Dok Deino. I have a channel by the name of Dr. Deino. I do pretty much the same thing as these folks do here. I try to dismantle bad creationist arguments, be they about science or social issues or history, all kinds of stuff. I actually have my own show a lot like this tomorrow.
Great.
Basically the same premise.
And we'll talk about tomorrow later. Today,
fair enough.
We are going to watch Mudfossil. Can't talk this week. I cannot talk this whole week. We are watching Mudfossil University, and Rodger is going to talk to us about skulls of giant predators that existed long before the dinosaurs, and something humans, giant humans with DNA.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, this is our good friend Rodger. Let's do the review quick, really here. We got 187,000 subscribers.
Wait! Is that a roll of toilet paper Rodger's got back in there?
I think that, or paper towels.
It could be paper towel. Yeah,
okay. One or the other.
It could be either, but both are equally valid for that.
Yeah. All right.
You gotta be able to clean those stones up, because those are actually we're gonna find
human flesh. Yeah.
They're flesh.
We'll get there.
They're organs.
Okie dokie.
What does Rodger have for us today?
Let's find out. I have it muted.
Really heat up in the old... Okay, my friends, starting to really heat up in the old dinosaur realm. Scientists discover a skull of a giant predator long before dinosaurs even existed. There was a period of complete destruction of life on Earth. And then the dinosaurs came. Prior to that, there was some creatures that right now they're trying to understand, and I think I do understand them. I call them mud fossils. Yale is studying them now, and I think I can help, certainly. And I'll show you what I have to offer and what they are doing and what their reports are about this particular era that created these perfectly preserved soft-body creatures, which is exactly what I have. And mine are DNA tested and CAT scanned, and some of them are exceptionally large. This is just, that wouldn't even be literally an insect.
Okay.
So,
DNA tested and CAT scanned, eh?
Yeah,
Okay.
possibly by Yale, because Yale is working on mud fossils.
Right. Yeah.
That's true.
That's the
Good old
thing
Yale.
that
Yeah.
Rodger just said.
For years,
Yeah,
they've
There
been
is
at
what he said.
the
I
mud
am trying
fossils
to
are
figure.
really large.
Oh, go ahead.
Good. What?
Well, I was just saying their mud fossil department is quite large. I called them earlier to make sure that they're on this, and yeah, they actually they couldn't get Rodger to come there and be a professor, so they kind of have him doing these online things you can sign up for. And, they stream it in one of the in one of their Dr. Tap. What do they call that little room? The lecture hall or whatever. They got a big screen there. And they have an assistant professor just
The
click
janitor's broom closet.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, if it's a lecture hall, it's not a little room.
it's
So
it's oversubscribed. They sometimes use a big auditorium because
Overflow. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I was surprised.
yeah. Normally, the only time I've actually had an overflow audience be a thing that actually happened was for my high school graduation, because you can only fit 4,000 people in that room, and when you're graduating 1,000 people in under 1 hour, if everybody gets +3 for family, that's more than
It's a little wild.
But
A little wild.
So I thought the skull he's showing there seemed familiar, but I figured out what the genus is.
What is it?
It's called Pampiphonius. It is it's called a therapsid, or a dinocephalian therapsid, which is basically a group of large predators from the Permian.
Mm-hmm.
And by large, I mean, would have been about the size of a large cat, like a puma or even possibly a lion in some cases.
so this tooth, because I assume these are the teeth, and this is not the teeth, I assume. But if you told me it was the other way around, it kind of looks like an anglerfish. Anyway, the tooth, the tooth is the size of my finger or something, right? This is not a small.
So the skull is about 32 centimeters long. So
Yeah, a foot.
yeah, roughly. So yeah, probably about the size of your pinky finger, which is still huge for a tooth.
Yeah, it's bigger than my teeth.
Right.
Oh, we got a whiteboard.
Yeah, I
Look at
tried
this.
to flesh them out for us here.
Uh-oh.
I believe this is what the creature looked like.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, wow.
I like it.
You know, the scary thing is you're not too far off, probably.
I want to know, why does it have bloodshot eyes? Okay, what's it been smoking?
It's been over at your place, Dr. Tab.
Oh
It,
well.
it goes for edibles, tapping. It goes for edibles. It doesn't smoke.
Well, then why is its eyes bloodshot? Terrible.
To the giants that I have DNA tested.
You have not DNA tested anything. You have not CAT scanned anything, and prove me
He's
wrong.
got a cat. Maybe he's got a
Yeah.
cat.
They used their eyes for that.
So
Okay, before we get
Yoko or Maya, whoever's in charge, I found a picture of the creature.
Maya is in charge. To be absolutely clear, I don't want that responsibility.
Oh,
Here, go.
here we go.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I don't know if this helps at all.
What?
Yeah.
So
Nice.
this thing is terrifying.
It's trying to eat
Yeah.
Maya.
Everything from this era in Earth's history is terrifying.
Indeed.
Yeah. Like I was about to say, yeah, especially the dragonflies, and then after I said that, I noticed the dragonflies.
And this is it compared to a human. So, oh boy.
Yeah. That looks like
is
a.
that guy walking the critter there? It looks like he's, yeah.
Well, I think it's
Yeah, I'd hate to see that kind of thing in a park. Let's just put it that way.
It's about the size of a Great Dane with another Great Dane glued together.
Yeah.
Like
It's like
a
maybe
large
two of them
cat.
glued together.
Like probably the size of a lioness.
Yeah. But with a
Yeah,
bigger
they're-
mouth, like a hippo's mouth.
It's a bit small for a hippo, but
Yeah,
big mouth,
but, you know, proportionally, though.
You know, we're at risk of actually learning real science here.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
answering
sorry.
questions like this.
Quiet.
This is.
Hey, no, these
Sorry,
are
I
real
just want-
questions. Nobody's
Well,
answering.
his questions are also real questions, right?
Ooh. I mean, could probably hop. I mean, I don't see why not. At least a little.
All right.
So, no, this is from Yale University, most of these people here, and they did research on these.
Okay, for the record, hold on.
Ex-
So Yale, Tarhan and Hood are from Yale. Briggs is from Yale. Drozer and Gelling do not appear to be from Yale. That's 3 out of 5. Yeah.
exceptional preservation of soft-bodied creatures promoted by silica-rich oceans. Now, which means the world was covered in a giant flood, and
No.
God Almighty! Here we go.
What do you mean, no?
No.
No.
Stop trying to do Satan's work, Doc.
I hail him, but no.
Yeah, no. I mean, there are big oceans. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
Well, yeah, it
But
is part of the
these
definition of an ocean.
critters didn't live in the ocean. They lived on the land. It's like, but you can't have it both ways here. I don't understand.
Also, just to speak out in favor of absolute truth, oceans are fake and a myth, and so is sailing. Just I gotta say it, because
All right.
Yeah, and
Oh.
also Australia.
Isn't there a university in California?
Maybe.
yeah, but it's just a big bay. That's all the Pacific is. It's a huge bay.
Yeah.
I call
Just
these
a
mud
small-
fossils.
Yeah, Trekker.
Well, I was just say it's like a small little sort of river between. There's like a landmass not too far out. The first thing you run into is like a small chain of islands, and then after that, there's another small island, and after that, it's just like there's like kind of another
From
thing. It's
where?
kind of a big salty river.
From you mean from where I live?
Yeah, from where you live across the bay. Like it's not really a bay; it's just kind of like a narrow sort of river that runs from Alaska down to what do you call that thing there? Antarctica.
Yeah, that's exactly what the
okay.
Pacific Ocean is. It's just a
No,
narrow
I get
river
it.
that runs from the Arctic to the Antarctic
I
ice
don't
wall.
want to get overly controversial and bring up a continent that some people think doesn't exist, but
Australia.
And
Australia.
that too.
Right. That's right.
It does
Land
not
of-
exist.
Drop bears and dingoes.
Anyway.
It does, but it's actually shaped like a hot dog, not Australia that you see on like a globe.
By the way, given the number of people that we have this
Yeah,
evening,
no,
I'm going to
at
put it
least
at
1.5, yeah, or 1.25.
Let me know if this is too fast. This might be too fast.
It might be because he talks really fast.
Okay, we can acclimate. 1.25.
And I'm going to show you what giants were preserved. Exceptional preservation. They're talking about small-ish things up to like a meter big. But the stuff I have, I'm going to show you right now. When you see what that is, you're going to see that the creatures are much bigger than they're thinking. All right, the skull they just
If small-ish things up to a meter, then he holds up something the size of like a large plum or something, and says they're much bigger than they thought they were. Does he know what a meter is?
Of course not.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Is he from a normal place or like that weird country you live in?
Yeah, it's rough. It's a rough
don't
life
know.
we live.
He's stupid enough to be
discovered
here.
is
For Yale, though. What's down there?
about 14.2 inches long. That's not that big. It's about that big, and it's terrifying and all that stuff. Gnarly looking beast, and this is from Harvard. And these developed long before.
Sorry. It's like,
Yale's
now we've got the Harvard Yale game going on. What the hell?
Right. This is the river they found it in right here. See,
River?
I'm just. This is, Rodger. Like
Right
he
there,
likes,
the river.
Oh, wait.
this is
Yeah,
the river.
Wait.
See, let me just show you. There's the hot dog province there. The island I was talking about. This is the river. This is
Yeah.
the river. It's a
And
very
that
narrow
river.
river. And then
There's an eagle in the middle of the river. Wait a minute.
And then
Flying to
I don't know
freedom.
how to do this. My antler isn't working right. And then Dr.
Yeah.
Tap, he's in this weird little pink spot right over here. Right over here somewhere,
Yeah.
Am I doing this right? I'm doing this
Yeah.
upside down and backwards. I don't Rodger.
That is
Rodger-
funny. And he's
Rodger's
still
got the advantage of, like,
upside down and backwards, and he's still got more facts than Rodger.
Right? To be clear,
this species has never been found in this river over here. It's all been. This is that little landmass I'm talking about, and then this river here,
That river.
this one,
Is that the Japan River?
the Japan, yes, the
Japan
Japan
River.
River. Have you not?
it's the Japan California River.
Okay.
The T-Rex.
So old, it's made of metal.
Now, this is Yale, and they're talking about how these things formed. It says many of them are outright bizarre in appearance, don't resemble anything alive today. This is from Lydia Tarhan at Yale. And she says, we like to understand the relationship to the complex creatures that evolved thereafter. Are the Ediacara organisms some sort of failed evolutionary experiment? Because they were wiped out in this subsequent colonization of the oceans. In other words, the oceans covered the earth. And it was.
That's not what colonization of the oceans means. No,
No?
no.
Oh.
It's talking about the animals.
But I didn't think there were oceans. I think
I'm
despite
sorry.
The chart
You're
behind
right.
me. It's that's not an
Rivers.
ocean, really. That's kind of a bay behind me, actually.
And wait, sorry, am I missing something, or is he? I think he's
It's a
swapping
gulf.
from article to article because this is about the Ediacaran, but the other thing was from the Permian. It's weird.
Does that seem like something he would do?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay, fair. Yeah. Sorry.
Salty silicates, and they claim that nobody would even know about this if it wasn't for all the silicates which did the invasion to create what's called nucleophilic substitution. And I've studied.
What is
What?
nucleophilic substitution? I've never heard of that. Genuine question. Is it a real thing? Anybody?
No idea.
I'm out.
Steph?
I'm Googling.
I'm trying to parse the word. I don't know.
Nucleophilic.
I
It
didn't go
appears
to
to be
Harvard or
something
Yale.
like-
I went to Brandeis. What do you want from
Wow.
me? I don't know.
I gotta
Me
unmute. Philic means it likes something, it attracts it. So a hydrophilic joint in when you build a wall and you put a hydrophilic joint in it, it soaks up water. So,
Yeah.
so
So-
if it's nuclear philic, that means it absorbs nuclei.
Or something
if I'm
pertaining.
understanding, or
Go
if
on.
I'm understanding Google correctly, it appears to be when a very reactive molecule or atom just tears apart another molecule to bind to it.
That's hardcore.
All right.
If I'm understanding it right.
Who knows?
All right. I feel the same way about something.
Just very, very deeply, and I understand it very well.
Sorry.
Okay, everybody in
We got Dok Deino in the house.
I know, right?
knows that every place on Earth they talked about giants and all kinds of monsters and dragons and demons and all kinds of crazy things, and we always sort of laughed at it because it was crazy. But what if I could show you that the root of a hairball could be 500 times bigger than it is in us?
This is true.
Because
This is true. Dr. Tap, I sent you a visual on this to prove that I looked it up. He's right. He's right. I don't know if you saw the hairball. I sent you a hairball this morning.
Oh, I did. Okay.
You have a cat?
If you show this hairball, I think you'll see that he's dead on the money there.
I would have to
the hairball here. I was like, Jesus Christ.
I don't know how to do that. Cool.
Send it to me again and maybe we can do it because I can't see it right now. But
you can't see it because I sent you a lot of nonsense.
that is the root of a hairball. Right? That's the same thing. That's the root. Now, coming out of there is the hair.
Not a ball. Hair bulb. I hate this man.
Yeah, he's
just give it time. You'll hate him worse as time goes along here.
And to this side right here attaches the muscle. And to this is right here is that sebaceous gland. And underneath here is the way the hair develops. It goes right around and it comes straight up through. And these are the two spots which are the vein and artery. Right there, those two dots. So this, the muscle, sebaceous gland, the hair shaft, the root, and it's now all one type of material. Why would that happen? Why does it all look the same? You'd think that
I'm legit shocked he doesn't think it's a giant testicle.
Right?
Actually, I realized I'm doing this all wrong because this is a Rodger stream. Like, can you guys share this somehow? I got my antler.
Is that a cat?
Oh no, I have it. I can open it.
You have it? Okay, because the resolution and the brightness is all messed up.
Well, okay, so this is a close-up of some animal's testicles, though.
No, this is not some animal. This is a hare. Those are the balls of a hare.
Thank you. You contributed.
God damn it, Beasley.
I told you I prepped for this.
I do appreciate you prepping for this. Maybe we could.
Maybe I won't be invited back. I get it. I understand.
There'd be some difference in the look of the material, but you only see a difference where your membranes are. That seems to be where you get a little bit of a difference, is membranes and muscle attachments, things like that. Of course, the hair itself is a little different. And this is a flat-sided hair, so I'm told this would be a curly-haired person. No. That is, I'd say 500 times maybe.
It's a rock.
You said person.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's a giant.
Yeah, it's a rock. It's a rock.
Yeah.
This man brings me nothing but pain.
It's the thing about it is this is all like, well, okay, the pareidolia thing is a Rodger through and through, but I haven't seen this particular manifestation of the pareidolia before. Yeah. And Rodger is a man that repeats himself.
No,
it is MFU, what that probably is. I think that's a chert nodule, which is just something that can happen in voids in the rock. I think that's what it might be.
What's chert?
You probably know it better as flint.
Oh, okay.
Like you're actually identifying the rock.
I've seen a lot
arrowheads.
Of them. Like you see enough of them, you start to recognize them. And the
Rock
area where I
on.
grew up is just stuffed full of chert nodules. They often just fill voids in the rock. Here, I got a visual here. Here we go. Yeah. So when water is superheated underground, it can absorb quartz into it. It can pick it up and carry it through, or carry it and then deposit it in voids when it cools down or slows down. That's what chert is. That's what flint is.
Huh.
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah.
Wait. So
And you can chip it off and make it into arrowheads and knives and blades.
Yep,
and
tons of
sorts
tools.
neat- yeah, all kinds of fun
Rocks are
things.
fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, rocks are really fun. I love it when people like Rodger lie about them.
We all love it because it brings us together for another Bad Science Sunday.
It brings me to wishing I had a beer.
okay, hold on. This
Well,
is
You're not warned.
that's on you, Doc.
You should have been warned.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who,
yeah. fair,
who
fair.
doesn't wish for a beer every Bad Science Sunday?
I go with the gin.
That
You need
counts.
something. Yeah.
That counts. Like we have
I like to.
31 minutes to get through, guys.
That's why I
Bigger
have
than
the
us, so-
gin.
Of a 6-foot person, this would be over half a mile tall if it was the same structure, stature. And I believe they were, and that's exactly what was written. And I'm telling you,
Of course,
He
you do.
believed there were giants half a mile tall.
That's
That's
right. Well,
amazing.
do we have like, I don't know, the appellations for scale or anything like that?
Or like a banana, at least, right?
Well, no, like there's a hair follicle in his hand. Obviously, the owner was a giant. Ta-da!
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm finding it everywhere. I mean, I got the giants coming out of my ears now. So that's a hair.
Yeah.
I believe
Wow.
you do, actually. Giants coming eerie.
Saying the quiet part out loud, Roger.
Yeah, just kind of, what's coming out of his ass is
Oh, man.
what's on the screen here.
Oh, snap. I'm sorry, Maya. I saw the poll just now, and I actually had to admit that I was a loser who hated fun.
Ball.
There's a poll.
So,
This is what I tell people.
yeah. She's always like, Dr. Tap is a loser that hates fun.
Yeah.
And
the time.
and people are always like, no, that's not true. He's
No.
a great collection of weasels in a trench coat. And
They
Steph
believe
knows
me
it's
every
all,
time.
it's all a scam. It's a grift. Long-term grift.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're officially getting 1 star on Rate My Professor.
Yeah, but I'm not a
Roger,
professor.
Dr. Scott.
I don't
Top.
care. I'll put you on there.
What is
Yo,
it that
if you can
professor be exactly?
Well, it's a website where you can rate college professors, and if you can get me listed as a professor at Stanford, I will owe you.
I would just say Yale
So
while
wait,
you're
wait,
at it.
I thought you were a professor.
No, I'm a
What?
postdoc. Yeah, I'm not a professor. I am a postdoc.
So you're a professor, you just don't get paid. That is-
well, I don't teach either.
Oh. Well, never
Yeah.
mind. I
So
thought you did.
yeah, I actually don't know. It's
They wouldn't dare let him around the whiteboards.
Man. Do you imagine a Promethean board like one a week going down from this guy? I mean, five weasels, like just it'd be losing one left, right, and center.
But yeah, no. Basically, I'm a graduate student that gets paid more and doesn't have to still earn a PhD. So, like, I'm a grad student with twice the income and half the stress.
That doesn't know how to
you
hit a play
you lucky
button.
bastard.
Sign me up.
Now, why did it change to all of this almost exactly the same material? Let's see if we can figure that out. It's called nucleophilic substitution. Okay, I'm not going to make this too deep. I can make it real deep if you want. But what happens in your body and what happens to all of these mud fossils buried in this salty, silica-rich waters is they became invaded with things that just wanted to replace things. Now, that's called nucleophilic substitution. And it's one.
What? Wait.
An invasion by things that wants to replace things is called nucleophilic substitution.
I'm pretty sure that's not the definition. In fact, we're looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a chemistry person, though, so I have no idea what's going on. I don't know why you keep me around, Maya.
One of the major functional group reactions. It changes things. It's simply replacement of a leaving group is going out in the water with a ligand by an incoming nucleophile ligand. It just changes. Here, I'll give you that, and you give me this, and everything's fine. There is no change in the nominal oxidation number of the center of interest. And I'm going to show you some transition metals, and they carry the things through our blood. That's why you need these metals in your body. There is also no change in the bond order. It's just a swap. I give you $5, you give me a piece of carbon, whatever it is. And
What? I give
It's
you
physically-
$5.
I give you $5, you give me a piece of carbon.
It's physically painful to watch something which has so clearly has a well-established, extremely well understood, like actual coherent thing in science just be completely obliterated and have no idea how, like, what exactly he's doing to obliterate it, because I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, we covered this before. I mean, actual science is really quite wonderful and wondrous, and this guy just makes shit up. It's
And then
just...
there's Rodger.
Yeah. What's a ligand? I bet I would find what a ligand is interesting, but who knows?
that's what nucleophilic substitution
It's like Howard, except he hasn't gone off on dragons yet.
is.
I don't think I know Howard.
Pick this up from him. Howard is.
You're lucky.
Howard is,
You're a very lucky man.
he's an angry Rodger. This is
Beautiful.
he's underwater, and this nuclear philic thing. That's Dr. Tap for scale because he's 6'4". Everybody knows. And then this is a half-mile tall giant that they found in the silica-rich seas. And there's no need to doubt any of this. They're studying it at Yale and at Harvard.
Yeah. What about Princeton? They're leaving those guys out, I guess.
Yeah, they missed the boat. He offered them the chance, and they just dropped. I'm like, now people can see it. No, here.
There we go.
There it is. That
Beautiful.
seem right. That's
me for scale.
That's you for scale. That's Dr. Tap for scale.
So,
And this is all underwater. I don't know.
Except for the top of his head. It looks like the top of his head is sticking
Those are the
out.
hair follicles. How do you think he found them? Those are the hair follicles that washed up on Rodger's Beach there at the riverbank.
Yeah, he got to get his rocks from somewhere.
but genuine question, Al. Have you thought of starting a cartoon strip? Like your art has that degree of silly, but I can tell what's going on.
It's great.
My art is messed up, man. I started doing AI art, and I've been sending it to Dr. Tap, and he's getting out a restraining order, but he's getting AI to write it.
Yeah, the problem is my last filing got thrown out of court because the AI made up a bunch of sources. But yeah, I'm working on it.
It also made up the court it sent it to.
That's why this had to be in a salty, silica-rich transition metal area that had basically one type of metal in there, or one type of nucleophile that will come in and substitute for whatever was here. And all that stuff is leaving groups, and this is the replacement group, and it all turned out yellow. I'm telling you, it's not tricky, actually.
It's not
You guys
tricky.
remember I was just talking about oxidation states?
It's not tricky at all. It's all obvious and easy.
Yeah.
It
He's
was
so
all yellow.
confidently wrong.
Oh, yeah. The confidence.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
It's just silica precipitant with some iron inclusions, most likely, to make it a bit yellowish. It's not that deep, Rodger.
Of course, it's deep.
Like
it's
your wife
underwater.
said on your honeymoon, it's not that deep.
shots fired.
These. And all that means is they have an attractive charge to some other molecule. It says, here, I'll give you 3 of these, you give me some of those. And that's how it works. These are in your blood. They're in aqueous solution. See, aqueous.
Are we into the blacks and whites now? Thing?
Oh,
Not
man.
yet.
Oh,
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
you got to keep them separated, remember?
That means watery solutions. And these are what they call ions, form complexes around a metal core. These are the metal cores, and these are the different oxidation states around it that hold. They carry little parts through your body, and they drop them off here and drop them off there, pick up something. Nothing changes. Everything's fine. You stay stable.
What do you mean nothing changes? You talked about how they go throughout your body and they pick up parts here and they drop off parts there. What are we doing?
Making shit up.
But you have to have these metals floating around in your blood. And that's what, let me just read you this. Transition metals form colored compounds and complexes. These colors can vary depending upon the charge on the metal ion. See, they have different charges. And then the number and type of groups of atoms called ligands. So what's attached to it? That's the ligand. That's the thing it's pinched onto. And they're attached to the metal ion. The metal ion. See, it has a plus on it. That means it's a charged particle. So it can charge and carry some of these other charged particles that they're like as a reverse charge to it. Think of it that way. One of them has a positive charge, one of them has a negative charge.
I'm pretty sure that was had the ghost of a reasonable, accurate subpoint in there somewhere. I'm just saying. He's talking about.
Oh,
so.
no.
So what he's doing?
So Dr. Tapioca Weasel, he's going down the Rodger rabbit hole here.
Steph, I am bending over backwards to interpret this in any plausibly coherent light that could possibly be applied, and I'm gonna fail. Okay, but this is what I do on Sunday evenings.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
And possibly a behavior disorder on my part.
Yeah. Okay. Have another sip of whatever you're.
Yeah, White Claw.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And they sort of attach together. Basically, it's a little complex. I always get into this. It goes too deep. Just remember that your body is in continuous transition of every molecule in your body. It's continuously getting oxygen, giving up waste products, taking on this, taking on that, and that's exactly how it happens with aqueous, watery metal solutions in your body. If you don't have the right iron and so forth, that's why you
I have titanium poor blood. That is actually a thing. What?
Yeah, no, I'm actually stunned because again the last chunk that he said, I don't think he said anything actually wrong there. He only gave him like 15 seconds though.
Was anything actually right?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, he was basically making. He was saying a lot. He was saying very little, but he wasn't saying nothing. He was kind of saying that it's this complex aqueous solution that you got going on in your body with all of these metal things, and they matter, and it's important. Which, yes, but
I do love the redundancy of him saying aqueous, watery solution, though.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't speak science, he's saying you have this watery water solution in your body.
It's the wateriest water that you've ever seen. It's got more dihydrogen monoxide than most water.
It's watery water, in other words. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the wateriest. It's,
It reminds me of that.
big enough to describe how watery this water is.
Is it wet though?
It's super aqueous. It causes wetness. It causes wetness. It creates the effect of wetness, but it isn't wet in and of itself.
Yeah, but then
moistness.
It might make you moist. I don't know.
So what you're saying, Al, is that it's the opposite of Rodger. I understand now.
Yes, Rodger is very dry. That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. He's given me this ammo. I'm just gonna keep coming out with all this shit.
Right? The man.
Hey, listen.
Prodigious.
I doff my cap.
Guy's weak. Why is he weak? Oh, he's iron deficient. Well, because iron carries oxygen. These are the two oxygenation states, plus 2 and 3. One of them is the 2 means you already used the oxygen. The plus 3 means you're still holding on to an oxygen. All right, and I see this all the time in my mud fossils. The black blood is the O2 state, and I show it, and it's green. I don't know why. The plus 3 state is red. It's red blood. That's because it's got that.
What was that?
But
The oxygen is red.
I think you broke
Same
Stephanie.
thing.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
I'm done.
Stephanie has been here before. She signed up.
Yeah.
She's seen Rodger's.
I have.
Rogering.
This is what I'm saying, though. This has been new.
Feather.
She's got a feather. I brought my antler.
Got my feather. Yeah.
But this has been new. All of this chemical stuff, I haven't seen him talk about this stuff before. And so far, there hasn't been a single rock vagina.
Yeah, that's great. He's done talking about biology and just moved on to chemistry. Bravo.
He's
Might be a
ambitious.
dozen of them later.
In your body, your vein blood is a bluish blood, and your red blood is your artery blood, and that's oxygenated, and that's red.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And don't forget, this is why.
I don't know
What's this?
Wait, did he said that you have 2 different types of blood? And the blue blood
The
goes through your veins?
oxygenated blood
and
is
you
red,
got-
the deoxygenated
red
blood
blood.
is blue.
Yeah,
It's not. Yeah. And
No, but he said it's the blue blood that goes through the veins.
that's
Well,
what
Like
I
it's
yeah.
said.
separate?
Thing.
Does he think it's separate?
There's vein blood and then there's red blood.
Well, here's the thing, though. We've got Harvard and Yale, right? So we've got red, the Harvard crimson, and we have Yale, which is blue. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a conspiracy. They're trying to make themselves the literal lifeblood of this nation. But it is true. So it is true that your oxygenated blood in arteries, flowing away from the lungs and the heart to the body, like it's bright red. And venous blood that has already deposited stuff, it's not blue. That's not how that works. But it is not as bright red.
Yeah, but Venus is yellow.
But what did he say?
He said that it was blue.
He said it's blue.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
But yeah. I just like to irritate all of you by bending over backwards for these people.
Well
Does it
done,
surprise
sir.
anyone that he failed middle school anatomy and physiology?
Man, your middle school had anatomy and physiology?
I know, I was just like...
But I know what you
Look,
mean.
I took a lot of extra bio courses.
Yeah, but
Man, I didn't get that until like second year in college. God.
You get so much blood out of fingertips. They're the terminals where the artery ends and the vein comes back at the very end of these tubes, which are the vein and artery. All right, just as a little bit of support for my claims here, I did this deeply, all of this chemistry and thermochemistry and bonding orders and, all the quantum. This was my life, is into this electronics and so forth. So I have every ability to speak on this as anybody else does.
I would love to get my hands on this notebook. If I ever got my hands on this notebook, I would start producing content. This would be the content.
Your brain would turn to mush and like you would just like not be able to form sentences and like into coherent thoughts.
Hashtag worth
Well,
it.
he does seem to have taken copious notes on something,
Something. That's
but
for sure.
not sure
There's a lot of them.
what.
So,
He is as qualified to speak on all the quantum as anyone. Keep that in mind.
Anyone, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do understand it, and my understanding of everything is that the transfer of energy is from light. Basically, it's from light into atomic vapor. Light is the beginning of all energy, and everything's made of dipoles. Anyway, this is my work from years and years and years ago. So,
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I knew we'd get there somehow, you know.
Just sorry, Tap. I was watching you and I saw you go like, oh yeah, oh no.
Yeah. I'm always so optimistic at heart because he hasn't killed that part of me yet, but it's happening.
it's all starting to make sense now. I mean, it didn't for a long time. I'll tell you, I had a hard time struggling with it and trying to relate it to life and everything else. But now everything relates just absolutely flawlessly. Okay, let's go a little deeper. Now, you've seen the hair root, and that's the root of a hair. That's just absolutely stunningly gigantic. And I showed you about the transition metals and nucleophilic substitution and why they come out this way. And this is because it was impacted in mud. And all of that stuff was still going through, just like it was be in your body with the blood. Mud is nothing more than eroded flesh. That's what mud is, and that's what created a mud fossil.
No. As someone who has
Hold on. Wait, did he
blood
say
under a microscope?
mud is nothing more than eroded flesh?
I love how Dok Deino and I groan at precisely the same moment. It's just like, oh.
Hey, can one of the mods get me the citation on that?
Jesus Christ.
As someone who has looked at way too many mud specimens under a microscope, no.
Yeah, absolutely no. No. Nope. Nope. Uh-uh.
Stop shilling for the man.
And
Look,
these books
the
are
man
done
for
by
the
another.
lab I was working in was cool, okay?
Yeah. No, you're totally right. Like my advisors in grad school, big fan of them.
There was this one time I had to take an online quiz for his class, and I lost internet halfway through, and he just said, you'd probably get an A, whatever.
Nice.
This is not my books, but they are about my work, and it uses my name, and it's all Rodger Spur's work. Blah, 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 that's fine. Paul M.
Did we know his name before? I can't remember. I don't think I knew that. I never
I
looked.
don't know. I mean, I like the fucks that I had for it were, yeah, I'm going to say no.
Well, okay, but I might try and get him to be a guest on Bad Science Sunday for my birthday.
Why did I say anything?
Because, you don't think ahead, Maya.
Facts.
I'm a Tucci's
I don't
putting
even know
these
how to
books
argue
out.
that. You
They're on Am.
have fun. He wants to talk to a doctor at some college, so I
have not reached out to this guy. I think my therapist would yell at me if I did.
Amazon, and they're cheap. I think they're less than $10, and they're nice. They're and I don't have anything much to do with these. All it is I ask them to portray my work realistically and do whatever he wants. So anyway, I have found these giants. Now I showed you their giant skull. Well, this is a fingertip. Okay, this is a fingertip. That's just like that. It's 3 feet long. Now let's look at it carefully. All right.
Can we get a poll if this looks like a fingertip? Because I'm skeptical.
yeah.
Right?
On it.
All right, let's look at it very carefully. Take your time. Slow down. You move too fast. You got to make the moment last. This is the fingernail. All right? That's the fingernail. It's literally, and it's still there. And this is a little pad that goes in between the bones so they don't scrub each other. There's a little pad there. There's blood supplies, vein and artery coming right up in here.
What?
Right now, when I first found it, it was complete and perfect. I had to break this off because I could see there was no way I was going to get any blood out of this. However, inside,
You can't
There's
get blood from a
blood in
stone. You're right there, Rodger.
No way.
Okay,
No way.
I just realized I was muted. I said, like,
no.
I want to commit crime because of this man.
Come on, Doc. You've tried to get blood from a stone, haven't you? You've looked at one like this and said, "I'm going to get blood from it," and then got closer and said, "Oh no, not this one
well,
either."
okay. Sorry. In defense of Rodger, you can get blood from a stone if you use it on somebody.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you
Is
how
that
I know.
untrue?
True.
Yeah.
Maybe he'd volunteer.
I think it would just bounce off his head, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it's worth a shot.
every rock. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's just incredible. And in fingertips, it's just saturated with blood. So I broke this piece off. Now, don't forget. Remember what you're looking at. That's the fingernail.
Yeah.
Comes right up. This was absolutely flawless. And that is that little bumper pad.
Get on with it.
Vein and artery. This I broke off, and guess what? It still had the fingerprints on there.
Really?
I was expecting him to say blood gushed out.
Fingerprints, though.
Fingerprints.
They're giant fingerprints, though.
I don't. Well, they're not going to show up in this resolution, so I don't. So I'm not optimistic for his case.
You know, I've got something to share if I can share my screen for a second, because I remembered in Canada we actually have. There is a giant in Canada, and there's an inland sea called Lake Superior.
Are there
well-documented
penises
giant.
involved?
And I'm thinking like
And
Rodger.
superior penises? You haven't heard of those?
No, it's called Sleeping Giant Superior. It's on Lake Superior, Sleeping Giant Provincial Park. And if I share my screen here, you'll see that's the giant laying down there. See, and there's a Laker for scale.
Yeah, wow.
Significantly in the foreground, and I've actually driven by this many times, and I've had the great view on a clear day.
I'm looking at this.
It is definitely a giant laying down.
So
He's had quite a long sleep.
Okay. I
So
see it.
Tapioca,
and so-
you said you're not familiar with Howard. He would absolutely look at that and say that is a giant.
Yeah.
Howard.
Well,
I think
I look at
Howard
that,
is like
and I conclude the Earth is
Professor
flat.
Emeritus at
I think
Mudfossil.
I am sadly familiar with Howard.
Maybe
Howard is Rodger if Rodger was crazy.
Yeah,
Rodger.
and
I stand by that statement.
Okay.
I think that's fair, though. I think that's absolutely
Wow.
fair.
yeah. If Rodger had lost his marbles and also became violent and unhinged, that would be.
Is Howard
yeah.
violent?
In some encounter, I mean, I'm not about physical, but like he trembles and he gets very visibly shaken and upset when he's talking mud fossils.
All right, so we have, it's only 15 votes, but most people are saying, hell no, it does not look like a fingertip or a fingerprint.
No way. Nobody thought that.
No
Okay.
one thought. Well, one person thought something.
But it could be from this giant right here, from Lake Superior.
No. It started before you showed the picture.
No. I'm just saying that if it is a fingerprint, it's probably from this giant.
Oh, yeah.
Just
totally.
to
This is the one.
Just
This is
to
the
read
one.
my mind.
That's what I'm saying. I also did another whiteboard thing. Oh, I didn't get it up fast enough. Sorry, I'm not very good at. This is so. You guys were mentioning
Is that a tapioca
that
weasel?
That's a tapioca weasel. Inside a cave vagina, And the tapioca weasel is for scale. Here, there we go.
Is my face that long?
Sweet.
Am I that pragmatic?
Well, one of you. It's the face of one of you.
Oh,
The
right.
wrong weasel is operating the voice box right now, but this is the one that does the bong hits.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's
All right.
it's an airtight trench coat. It's fine.
Yeah. You're hotboxing it right down all the way. Let's see this finger.
I see this.
fingerprint.
This is the piece I broke off. And your fingerprints start really right next to your fingernail. The fingernail was up here, and you get a little tiny bit where there's no fingerprints, and then they start in this pattern. And here they are right here. These are the sweat pores. You see, this is the grip. Now, my thumb is approximately the width of one fingernail ridge. These little tiny strips that are in your fingers. Now, this piece here, that is what they call keratinized cell. It's the cornified skin. It's the skin that does all the work. Grip skin, friction skin. It's the tough stuff. And it peels right off just like that in a layer. And I have another specimen I can show you is peeling, and just the grip skin peeling right off of the red flesh. Very, very obvious. And that was also DNA tested. And
I don't like it.
It's just bizarre.
this was DNA.
What is happening right now?
Tested as well.
Roger,
I had to
What
get
do you expect?
Yeah, no, it's also we have one layer currently of like screenception here. Because this is Roger's thumb. This is Roger's hand holding a thing, and it is on his screen. And this is like this is the toolbar for his main screen that he's using right now live, and then this is the toolbar for the image on the screen that is on the picture that's on his screen. So he's doing yeah. And the problem is that's how you get Skynet. Do you want Skynet? Because that's how you get Skynet. Okay, you just. Yeah.
We're going to have to find somebody to Skynet with you because you're like jonesing for some Skynet.
I love me some Skynet.
through this to get down into where the blood is. Right, this is where the flesh is. And it is saturated with blood. And the quality of the blood was excellent. It was excellent. Now, again,
how do you measure the excellentness of blood?
very heavy-duty grip skin.
Yeah, you just need a straw, I think. You have to have a straw, and you suck it up. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's all by taste. It's all by taste.
Yeah.
Like you're like a sommelier for blood. Like I don't know what else it would be.
That's what vampires are.
It's exactly. Yeah. That's what it would be. It would be a vampire sommelier, because this is not the type of thing you could test in a lab.
Not with that attitude.
It would be art. Yeah, well, you'd have to be. It's an art. It's an art, not a science. You can't let science get in the way of this artwork.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just fuck it up.
Being fair to Rodger, he doesn't let science get in the way of anything.
No, he never has. No. Never has.
Yeah. Or I mean, just reality in general, typically. It's like a superpower.
No.
And when I smacked it, it just popped right off like a slab, just exactly like that, like it just popped right off. And below that was just the dense, heavy, fleshy material, basically. All right, remember I told you I had another giant, and this is another hand. This is a left hand. The thumb goes off this way. The small finger goes off that way. There's a tendon that runs right down the middle, same as you would have. Put your hand back like this. This only is coming only up to about here. All right, it's huge hands. So I think it's a little over 4 feet wide, somewhere in that area. Now, this silver stuff is the grip skin. It's on your hands. It's on the pads of your feet, on your fingertips. It's where you do all your work. and it's I call it the cheap stuff. It'll go away. Scrub it off. You're doing this all day long. It's just rubbing off. I'm rubbing it off right here. It's going all day long, and skin is everywhere. I'm telling you, skin.
Sorry. I tried to pause it and everything went weird.
I'm not talking about anything because Rodger's not talking about anything.
He's talking about rubbing one off. So
that is true.
Grip skin. The grip skin is what you use every time. I can't believe that there's no density change inside the cross section of that hand, with like bones and muscles and tendons and like there's a lot of junk that goes on inside your hand. I don't want to tell you how it's seen inside people's hands, but I've seen it more than once. And there's no sort of change. It's like it's almost like that's just a piece of mud or something that dried up. That was all like one consistency before.
Now listen, Al, you cannot presume to know the anatomy of a giant. Only Sir Rodger truly knows what goes on inside. We should defer to him.
You think they start out boneless like the chickens they make nuggets out of?
I don't. Boneless chickens they make nuggets out of. You mean chickens they make boneless nuggets out of?
When you get like a boneless chicken breast or like a boneless wing or something, like that comes out of a chicken that was grown without a skeleton.
There's no such thing as boneless wings. There's only chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I think General Tsao raises boneless chickens. I think that's how that works.
Yeah. Well, regardless, like this is a boneless giant, and if he was boneless, what would he possibly have to jerk off? Like,
well,
how can he? What can
he jerk? Everybody
has no bone. Thank you. God bless you. Good night. I came.
All right. Oh, whoops.
Flake off is just unbelievable amounts, but it normally comes off of these grip skin areas. It's made to be disposable, basically. But if you look closely, you see how it's just peeling right off? It's made of a different material. It's keratinized. This is even your pads of your hand. It's already gone from there. So you're down into the red fleshy area. That's the cleave right in between your pads of your hand. The small finger goes off this way. Now, and this is also DNA tested. So,
but how?
Bullshit.
God magic.
DNA tested, and there wasn't any found. Rodger, what are you talking about? What? No. Unbelievable.
It's a rock, my guy. You can't DNA test the rock. Well, I mean, okay, you can do like surface. Not the rock though. That's the stuff on the rock. And I hate you, Rodger.
Well, three things. This was DNA tested. This lung here, and maybe Sarah.
This is a lung. This is a Rodger repeat. He keeps that lung just on his desk because it's obviously a lung, right?
Okay.
Saturated with blood, absolutely saturated. I drilled in here somewhere.
See, look at it. The lung in all its lunginess.
Yeah, that's a lungy lung.
Yeah, it is.
I think I drilled right in there. And you go in deep and you get the blood out of the inside, just like the hand. The fingertip. And the same here. I went inside and actually I took it off of a fingertip that also came with that. Here, hold on a second. Oops. Now, I've shown it a million times. It's that one right there. And there's I have knuckles and all kinds of things from that. So this is not just one off here and one off there. And I have all kinds of stuff. This is a bone.
Well, what did he say?
It's a what?
Oh, it's a bone. It's a bone. It's a bone.
Oh.
Bone.
I heard a G in there. All I'm saying.
Like a gnome?
Yeah, I know it sounded like a bong. I'm like,
bong.
Oh,
yeah. Maybe it's
clearly
a bone.
Yeah.
I mean,
all
it
right.
makes as much sense as a bone. I mean, fuck it.
Right?
All right, I have an announcement to make.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Did you make another drawing?
Another what?
Drawing.
Another drawing? No, I haven't done another drawing. but I'm gonna have to cut my time here short. I'm really sorry.
Oh man.
I'm looking at the time, and my daughter
Yeah.
just came down. She needed help, and she said, "Do you know what time it is?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And I looked, and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Man, there's not enough time to go through a Rodger video."
No. All right, but
and
tell everybody.
You're in that Atlantic time zone too.
Yeah, well, I'm not in Atlantic. I'm Eastern, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's late enough that I won't
Yeah,
get
you
enough.
should be
You
up
start
in
at like 4 a.m.,
couple
bro.
hours. Yeah. I can't imagine. I have to be up at
Yeah,
6, and that's bad enough. All right.
Yeah.
Well, tell everybody who you are and where you are, and if you have anything coming up
All
this
right.
week.
We get.
Okay, so yeah, I'm Al Trucker. I have a channel. I noticed somebody posted it before, and yeah, if you go there, I randomly go on and do stuff. I'm trying to do it more consistently, usually on weekends because that's when I'm not as busy. I did test, and I can do streaming from my cell phone if I don't use YouTube. I can only do it if I use something else. So, but it does work. So I may start doing it if I get stuck out places, which happens from time to time. And yeah, so look for me randomly, and and Doctor Tap sometimes comes on my show and tells me why I'm dumb, which is really great.
That's never how that works.
Well, maybe not.
You make me sound so mean.
Well, he's not mean about it. I have ideas, and he makes sure I understand what's wrong about them, which is cool. I want to learn. I want to be inversely Rodger. Maybe not inversely proportional.
I mean,
because
okay.
I think that would make my brain really small. I think
No. It would make Einstein look like a chump compared to you. Is what would happen
if I was
took
inversely
Rodger and
Rodger.
inverted. Yeah.
Yeah. I want my intellect to be inverse to Rodger's intellect, but I don't want it to be inversely proportional because then it would just be really, really tiny.
Al, thank you so much for coming on. We've enjoyed
All right,
you.
thank you.
And,
Thank you.
I dropped a
everyone.
link to Al's
hope you can watch the rest of the
Yeah.
stream as you're driving, and we'll see you.
Yeah,
around.
I'll be listening to it as long as I can, and I may even make silly comments, but I'll try not to. But yeah, I'll definitely.
We only accept silly comments here.
Yeah,
That's all I do. I don't serious comments or
No,
I
not
can make serious
accepted.
comments.
Yeah.
Every time I go on to be funny on my own channel, I end up being serious. So, and then I come here to be serious about this major science discovery that Rodger's made, and I get all silly. What the fuck?
It's so hard to be serious in the face of his brilliance.
This is true.
All right. Well, I don't know how to leave this thing, but I'm gonna figure that out. So
you can just
make me
one
small
way
as I
just to
scramble
close
around.
the tab.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Al.
Bye, Al.
Bye. Good to see you.
Okay.
Okay.
Understand that bones could turn to stone. Now they do. Now they've started to understand the process. I told them, it's nucleophilic substitution. And just look it up. Get somebody understands chemistry down there at Yale, or somebody else understands anatomy. Because I was told by the guy that wrote the paper actually on this Etacarta preservation. He told, that's just a bone. That's just a rock. And I had.
Because it's obviously just a rock.
Yeah, I went go to the source. What is this? It's a rock. No, it's not. Yeah, it is actually a rock.
Doc, are you there?
Huh? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'm here.
I was
like, oh no, we killed Dok Deino.
Yeah, right.
How often does this happen?
Yeah.
That people just pull out a rock that just looks like a rock, and then they're like, "This is clearly a mud fossil from an ancient giant that was half a mile."
It depends. Am I talking with a rational person, Rodger, or my 5-year-old sister? Because she finds cool rocks all the time.
Am I talking to a rational person, Rodger, or my 5-year-old sister? I love that.
I mean,
yeah, more than once.
Yeah, fair. I was going to say adults, but I don't know if that includes Rodger. It's not clear.
Oh, Rodger's an
Put
adult,
the-
all right.
Yale, all my stuff, DNA tests, CAT scans, because I have CAT scans too, and they just disregarded everything. And then they did write the paper after I put out.
Who didn't write what paper?
Because
When?
it's
None of this happened.
because it's bullshit. Bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Oh, it's so yeah.
Bullshit.
Out a book that I was so upset I wrote a book somewhere. Here it is. Mudfossils and Velikovsky, because Velikovsky's the one that found out how this whole process happened. It was a hot, salty flood. That nobody can get their hands around that either. But you can make mud fossils very quickly and very simply. And they say even in their paper that this could have happened within hours or days. These could have transitioned into these mud fossils, like this lung. It happens almost, overnight, basically. And they agree with that now. These are all my claims in this book.
Wait, you can make mud fossils? You said you can do it very simply and overnight.
Have you never buried a body, Maya?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, do you have a chisel on hand?
I don't. I could get one. I have a soldering iron.
Yeah, that'll do. There, you can
But
go
it's
make
from-
a mud
I think-
fossil.
I think it's from the 1920s, though. So
yeah. I just have this baby torturing device. Satan
yeah.
left here last time.
I don't know if it was Rodger or if it was Howard, but one of them once used the statue of David as evidence that giants once existed, because they said the statue of David was a petrified human. It was too perfect to have been carved.
It's
Well, that makes sense.
shame they didn't do the same for Moses, because that would have had actual horns on it, which is
Hey, Doc, you probably know this answer better than I do.
I have no idea.
Neither. I'm sorry. I gotta stop saying Doc.
because there was a mud flood. It's a mud flood, therefore all the fossils are mud fossils.
Okay.
I don't know what more you want from me. I gave you the best that there is. It's a hard life.
And this was a year or so that I published it before they wrote their paper. So I understand this process. I should be able to talk about it, but nobody will respond. So what do you do?
it's a reason for that.
Nobody will talk to me.
I don't. The fundamental issue is, or at least one of them is, his thought process and everything is so disorganized. It's literally incoherent and unintelligible.
These are facts, though.
I do this. See, I told them it's mud fossils. They had to change it into sand. It's not the sand. Mud. Sand will not transfer the molecules the way mud does. Mud is nothing more than eroded flesh. So this is just
Why does he keep saying
Transfer
that?
the molecules.
It's got to transfer the molecules
That's
via
not how
eroded
this
flesh.
works. That's not
And-
how any of this works.
Yeah, hold on, Maya. Are you saying that eroded flesh is not the best molecule transporter out there?
I mean, he goes into his back garden, gets some dirt, adds water, and produces eroded flesh, which he then DNA tests and CAT scans.
Yeah,
Right.
but without any evidence of the DNA tests or the CAT scans.
I mean, on a side note, fortunately, that fossil that you can see there is actually a really interesting creature.
Is it a mud fossil?
It's an actual fossil.
Yeah, it is
From the
actually.
Ediacaran?
Yeah, from the Ediacaran.
I love that word.
Trying to find this will work. So there is an extinct group of animals that were trilaterally symmetrical, meaning that their bodies were separated, like they were three different. Sorry, words. Like, you know how you're bilaterally symmetrical? Your
Yeah,
left side is the same as your right, just reflected.
they had
These
three
guys did it
segments.
3 times.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
It's kind of neat.
One of them looks like a sand dollar, which is kind of cool.
Convergent evolution. Fascinating.
Where does so if you do that but 20 times, they I think just call it radially symmetric, or are there not any segmentations that are clearly defined in like a radially symmetric organism?
Radially symmetric is just organized around a central axis. Yep, okay. So things like starfish are radially symmetrical. So are some other organisms like that. See if I can find a good picture.
But yeah,
Oh, I think jellyfish are too.
yeah.
Roofs so that they can claim they figured this out. They call it the Ediacara biota.
Is that how it's pronounced?
Ediacaran.
Well, he's pronouncing this word right here, Ediacara, I think. And Ediacara is what he said, and it's not that bad.
Which were much richer in
It's not his
dissolves.
worst
They call it the
crime, I guess.
Ediacara.
Ah, sorry. What?
It's not his worst crime, I guess.
Well, I mean, we wouldn't want to speculate on that. That would get Maya probably deleted by YouTube.
Oh, yeah,
Biota,
let's
which
not do that. Oh, wait a
were
minute.
much
We have
richer
something
in
that we're-
dissolves.
What is it? I'm sorry. I didn't even see this.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
there we go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, corals, jellyfish, stuff like that is radially symmetrical. Just around a central axis.
Okay, so trilateral symmetry would be a subset of that.
Kinda? It's more like the bilateral symmetry, where your body is basically reflected along planes that are at 120-degree angles to each other.
Yeah. The thing is, if you flip over if bilateral symmetry here also has a front and a back, the radial
Yes.
has an up and a down. And so if you have a symmetry of rotation in the radial one that you don't have in most bilateral things, but you do in, for example, like clams or something. I don't remember which one it is. The ones that are side to side, not up and down.
I know what you're talking. I don't know the difference.
Okay.
Or I don't know the different names.
It's a topological question of little importance.
Silica, and I know why. Because the membranes that coat everything are made out of phospholipids. And what's phospho? It's phosphorus, which is right above silica and aluminum. All feldspars are made from aluminum silicates, and they are, the feldspar is the coating of all these creatures, because the coating is made from bilipid membranes. So I understand the process, the chemistry, the nucleophilic substitution, why all this happened. And it says it could have occurred over a matter of hours or years rather than millions of years like normal. And these organisms were rapidly buried by sand. No, they were by mud.
What happened over hours? What? Is it?
He's saying that the flood happened in a matter of hours. They were buried and turned into fossils.
Yeah, where is this from? This thing that he's showing on the screen. Who knows?
Underwater storm events. No, it was a worldwide flood.
Not sure I'd have
This
to
is
see the
this is
title.
all.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can believe that they're talking about these specific Ediacaran fossils, because that does happen. There are underwater storm events, underwater landslides, all kinds of things like that, which we can see.
Yeah.
Like, we can tell where they are and they're kind of neat, actually.
Yeah, but like if I'm reading this, enabled the transformation of loose sand around the animals into rock to occur over a matter of hours. The thing that occurred over a matter of hours is the transformation of loose sand into rock. As far as I parse that sentence. And that is some hot nonsense.
Yeah.
That'd be some really fast cementation, which don't know if I've ever heard of it being that fast. That is odd. Though that could also be the writer's interpretation. Depending on where you got this.
Exactly. I don't know what this is. So
Academic mumble.
See if I can find it.
Yeah, the quality of scientific publications varies. Well, pop publications varies wildly.
Yeah, and sometimes bad places get something right, and good places get something wrong too.
This is, I think, if I'm research. Lydia Tarhan is the person. The Ediacara Biota, Yale University. I don't know if this is the same paper.
Oh, sorry, I have to address that comment. Sandstone's a thing.
Yeah,
it is. That's true.
So sand can absolutely turn into rocks. Yes.
It
Generally not in a matter of hours.
It is rocks.
Fair enough.
Jumbo to try to change the truth of the matter, first of all, and secondly, to take credit for it. See, this is also what Yale does not understand. They say a big part of the answer involves figuring out how these fossils were able to form, and the animals themselves were entirely soft-bodied. That's not true. They lived before the evolution of shells, teeth, bones, or anything, which are typically the only parts of an organism to become fossilized.
That is true.
Oh, boy.
The word typically is doing a lot of work there. And this is a classic example of somebody articulating a question in science that may have a lot of good answers, but could use more. Like, there's no reason to believe that there are not a number of different distinct ways in which a fossil could end up forming. Burial can happen in different ways. You can be chilling somewhere in a highly anoxic environment for a long time without getting buried, and you're not going to decay the same way you will in other environments.
Yeah. Fossilization it happens in so many different ways.
Yeah.
What you're usually taught in school is a pretty basic one that's not wrong, but leaves a lot to be desired. And honestly, the fossils they're talking about here, they're basically just imprints. They're not even a proper, cast fossil, like you usually think when you think of, a dinosaur fossil, where it's an infill. It's like a footprint, basically.
Yeah.
Totally wrong. This was a bone. It was invaded. It was nucleophilically substituted during this worldwide flood event, which didn't happen long ago because most of this stuff was exactly on the surface. This goose or duck or whatever it is.
Oh, not the goose. I remember the goose.
I don't think I do, which means I think I'm pretty sure he does legit psychic damage, you guys. We might have a class action here.
Well, he's giving me a headache, that's true.
Well, yeah, that might be me, though, Steph.
No, I don't think so, though, Dappy. I'm pretty sure it's Rodger.
Oh, well, okay.
Thank God I have my buddy feather, though, with me.
Caesar Augustus, my good best friend. Here's his
Caesar
feathers right here.
Augustus is good best friend.
Oh, Rodger. You beautiful. I don't.
Yeah,
I retract.
I just had to say Caesar Augustus. You can keep going.
This happened in a great hot saltwater flood.
Yeah.
And it basically caused the phospholipids, which is everything that is a coating, which is a membrane, your skin, organs, fascia. It turned it into feldspar. That's feldspar. So
I don't know what feldspar looks like. Is that feldspar?
No!
What's good for the goose is good for the gander. That's all there is to it.
Feldspar is a very recognizable igneous mineral. Whatever he had there looked like it was sedimentary. Otherwise, it was very heavily weathered.
It was
Which,
a
to be
goose.
fair, that's all of his stuff.
Yeah,
It was a
fair.
goose, though.
Right? There's this eye right there.
I know how it happened. It's just a very, very simple explanation. All right, I might have showed this already, but they say that many of these creatures, that the things I'm finding, I agree, they're outright bizarre in appearance, do not resemble any organism alive today, said one of the authors of this paper from Yale. And they want to figure out if it had anything to do with the new creatures that came, because they said it basically was everything was wiped out. And then the complex animals evolved shortly thereafter, they say, and are the Etacarda organisms some sort of failed evolutionary experiment? Like they started to make and then all of a sudden they just all died. No, they died because of a great flood. It was all talked about. On every culture on Earth, this is not a hidden thing. All right. Remember this.
No.
Yeah.
There could it possibly be because most cultures on Earth were settled in next to rivers?
Humans
That's
like
just-
river valleys because they like to be near water because they need water. And water flood.
Yeah. Yeah, and things grow in river valleys really well. Because there are floods that deposit nutrient-rich soil.
Well, look at Steph here, bending over backwards to not say mud. See? You're covering it up. That's his point. That's Rodger's whole point. It's all about the mud flood.
Well, yeah, the mud covers. Yeah.
So we're
They're
saying.
talking about this thing
No, go ahead.
being huge, 14 inches long for the skull. Now, a big deal, I'm going to tell you right now. And they also say this happened prior to a great destruction on Earth. I can't disagree with that, which was the Great Flood. You see, here it is right here. It's
No. What happened was the Great Dying.
is key to providing a glimpse
The
into the community.
volcanic eruption we have in the rock record. It covered like half of Siberia.
Siberian traps.
Yeah. Released so much crap in the atmosphere, it killed everything.
Just about.
It-
Not
over-
everything.
Over
It's like
90% of all
99%,
species
right?
alive at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta wonder though, like the few that squeaked through, how close of a shave was it, you know?
It depends. There's one. Man, I think it was the first of my my series, the Creation Science Theaters. I got to talk about a really cute little creature that, for some reason, thrived during the Great Dying, while everything else just was gone. And then, as soon as things returned to normal, it went out. Like it went extinct as soon as things went back to normal.
Interesting.
Yep, here we go. This is Lystrosaurus. It was basically the rabbit of the Permian. And like I said, thrived during the Great Dying. Then as soon as things went back to normal, they all disappeared.
I bet what it was really good at was being able to eat anything.
Honestly,
And it put
probably.
all of its evolution points into that. And then when other stuff like came back, it was like, oh crap, I spent all my evolution points. Whoops.
Yeah. Like, I can eat things very well, but I can't run and I can't fight.
Yeah, and things can eat me. Damn.
Yeah.
Community structure.
They're
sorry.
adorable, though.
They're kind of cute.
Of the terrestrial ecosystem just prior to the biggest mass extinction of all time. All right, this is down in Brazil. They found that. All right, so don't forget now. If there was a giant world,
Hold on, we got the lung on screen twice. I just want to say the man's committed to the
Yeah,
lung.
you know.
worldwide flood, and it was hot water, that's what literally boiled the flesh off of these creatures and preserved the organs because they're coated with this fashion. Now you see that flat? How flat that is? You can't get any flatter than that. There is
What? You can't get any flatter than that. I know it's weird. Sometimes there are just random things he says that just what? Try your brain, Rodger.
There's no flatter. All right, and it died like this.
No.
And these came out of the bodies because they literally boiled the flesh off. And this is fascia, is this aluminum silicates, which all started as phospholipids. It's a breakdown process because of the conditions. And it happened to everything. It happened to anything that had a membrane on it, and everything there is has a membrane on it. So they just never realized this, and they still claim a lot of these things are rocks, and they're obviously not a rock. And if you know what to look for, you can see they're looking for bones. There's no bones. But that's Caesar's neck right there. This is my buddy Caesar Augustus. That's his neck right in there, but it's transitioned.
Oh, God.
Pepto-Bismol helps.
I am muted, so you are not
So we're not like
screen.
so you don't subject us to your like projectile vomiting every other sentence. I can relate.
Doc.
I think we might have actually done that to Dapper Dino. I think I like heard an aneurysm once or twice during that stream.
Oh, man. That was... What we did to him...
Don't
It's
tell me.
all
it was
Hoban talking
biblical.
points. I can't believe anything was like new news.
yeah, no, but yeah, like a lawsuit wouldn't be out of the question. That's my point.
My
All right,
friend
the arteries
Caesar
here.
Augustus. Oh,
Yes.
my God.
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna give him that one.
Don't you dare.
He's allowed to have friends.
No, he's not.
I'm still recovering from that one.
And I've taken it and used catalase on there, and it still bubbles, which means that it's still enzyme catalase. I mean, I use hydrogen peroxide on there, and it will bubble if there's catalase. Catalase is a biological
Hydrogen peroxide just bubbles.
Yeah. Yeah.
It also bubbles in the presence of calcium carbonate. You know, the most common binding agent for sedimentary rocks.
Calcium carbonate. Oh, yeah. I thought it was magic and fairy dust.
Yes, the mud is sentient. Absolutely sentient. No question.
Yeah.
It does
your
look
body.
like a duck.
It totally looks like a duck. I'm gonna give him that one too.
Yeah.
It burns off the extra oxygen. So when you put hydrogen peroxide on there, it has extra oxygen.
I mean, wouldn't there be some sort of like a vertebra or
Yeah.
something that isn't just a rock?
Yeah. Should be.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
And this bubbles it right up. So if you want to test if something's biological or not in an artery, if you can find one, just put a little hydrogen peroxide on there. If it bubbles up in that one exclusive area.
So the only reason that hydrogen peroxide will bubble up if you pour it on a rock is if that rock is an ancient mud fossil, and it's basically living flesh, but like you just gotta believe. Am I right?
I mean,
I'm not hearing that I'm wrong, so it sounds like I'm right.
yeah, the mud is actually nothing more than, what did he say? That was actual flesh. I mean, sounds like transubstantiation and taken to extremes.
Yeah.
Then that's because it has catalases. Catalase means it was a product. How much blood can you get out of these things? A ton. You see this? This lung right here was turned into almost entirely silicates, but down here where it was still in the mud, this end of it, this side of it was still in the mud. And it just, basically the mud protected it and kept the blood inside. And when I took it out, the blood just sort of bubbled up here and there.
What? What is this?
No, it did not.
No. Oh man, Doc, I wish I could like see your like facial expressions while you sit through this, because I might be a monster.
I want to throw a
Half
rock
the
hammer
show.
through my computer.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's painful. Let's just say it's painful.
All right, and this one was DNA tested. I mean, I didn't bother to do that.
No, it wasn't.
This one here, I wanted to see if it was human. Yes, it was.
Fucking bullshit. It was fucking bullshit. It wasn't DNA tested, Rodger. Just show us the DNA test. Actually, show us the lab that did the DNA test, and show us the expression on the dude's face when you brought him this fucking rock. I mean, really? Yeah. What are you talking about, buddy?
Hey, Professor, there's this crazy guy in the lobby. He says he'll give us $200 if we test this for DNA.
I think Rodger's only good for 5. I think he basically said 5 was his limit earlier on, right? Just, well, oh, God, whatever.
Is this a Geiger counter over here?
I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, I've got a Geiger counter, but I actually work with radioactive materials sometimes, so.
I do too, and I don't. Publicly.
Fun fact, many fossils are actually radioactive.
Fun fact. The most radioactive crater on the moon is named after my grandfather.
Nice.
Oh.
Any good anatomist can understand this. This is all feldspar. I work with the people that do, that's all they do is fascia and sports injuries and anatomy and autopsies and so forth to try to understand these fabrics. And interstitium is one of the fabrics that makes these things rubbery and floatable, and they just...
Mage Grey Wolf, I think that Rodger should write a book.
He's written several. He just showed us. He has his name on the few.
That's a fair point. I think that we should cover Rodger's book.
that might, yeah.
With mud, yes, I agree.
You're so close-minded, Stephanie. This guy is trying to overturn the entire idiotic status quo of, reality and whatnot.
Which is why no professors will talk to him. That's exactly it.
Which is why I want to know where he's getting all this DNA testing of rocks done.
Oh, he has so many resources hidden up there, so he just pulls it out where he pulls everything else out. Just from way up his ass. He just pulls it right out. It's crazy. It's like an Amazon warehouse up there.
Just discovered that in 2008, and I believe that a lot of that had to do with my mud fossil research that I was reporting on, because I was talking to these same people about what am I finding? What is this stuff on these membranes and so forth? They called it fuzz, and they say it's just a padding so that it doesn't...
I would totally do this.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no, that may have been what happened. Like, no lie. And also, saying you had something DNA tested says nothing about the results.
Well, that's true too. I mean, you could just like, there's no DNA here, Chief. Yeah, but
Except for the
Is.
DNA of a Caucasian male that probably fits your description because he handled them.
So you're saying it came from a human?
no, a giant human. Yes, it's the
Bump into other
Nephilim.
stuff.
That's exactly what it is.
I said, no, there's something else going on here. This is very structured. And then, well, hold on a second. See, this just goes back to 2018. That's just 5 years ago. And I was doing this 6 or 7 years before that, and I knew about this membrane, this interstitium. Now they call it a new organ in the whole human body. Scientists say they discovered a new human organ, and it is. It's the biggest organ in the body, basically, because it carries all the things through your body that protect you. Okay, I think I told you I had all this stuff, well, not all of it, but I had 3 things DNA tested, and it came back with excellent quality.
Oh man. Okay. By the way, if anybody knows why my YouTube like displays like this, where it cuts off the top of it and everything, I don't think it always did that, and it's super annoying because there's a chunk of this video right now that is cut off, which you can see now. Exactly. But the thing is, what I have to do is I have to mute it and then go here, and then if I pause,
That's horrible.
yeah. And
well,
it's
they're done listening about your incompetence. More Rodger.
My entire life is me dealing with my incompetence. How dare you minimize my struggle?
The play button. God damn it.
I should.
DNA tested, and it came back with excellent quality DNA sequence obtained from the 36-inch tip, that huge fingertip. And the lung also had, I had the lung out here, but the lung also had excellent quality. And the big mud hand was not as good, but it was still good. And they sequenced it, and it did come out as human mitochondrial DNA. Homo sapien mitochondrial cytochrome B and D loop region for the 36-inch tip and the lung and the other one too. So they are DNA tested. And it said they were excellent quality. I mean, and he said this took 2 months to do. And this was a very expensive test.
I'm actually kind of intrigued about this because
And how stupid it is?
Where did this sentence come from? Excellent quality DNA sequence? Did he write that? Because he's saying that this is
or a friend did. Because we're all on the same page here, right? Like that's not shit that comes back. And you know what? Maybe Donald Trump's doctor wrote this. Because it sounds like the same kind of bullshit that is like, he's an excellent quality, the best quality of any 60.
Yeah, well, you're presuming
year-old ever.
You're presuming that language is referring to the thing that he is saying directly that it is referring to. This may be out of context, and because it's just too I don't know. I don't know enough about what I'm seeing on the screen. Also, it looks like it's a Microsoft Word. So, there's that.
Now, this is about the different extractions and so forth. Now, what you have to understand is I sent them the samples that I personally extracted under very good conditions. I did everything right. And he said there was no contamination. They did negative controls. There was nothing that was negative. Everything was right. And these are the different 3, the mud tip, the lung, and the 36-inch tip. The mud tip was from that hand that I showed, the big hand. And the 36-inch tip was from that finger, and the lung was the lung I showed next to the one that was bleeding.
Well, there you go, guys. That proves it. There were actually giants back in, when the fuck ever, period. And
100%.
Yeah.
There might be giants.
In the when the fuck ever period. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has the
Back
DNA.
when Istanbul was Constantinople, I think, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I love that song.
Around the time of the flood. And then God had to smite their asses.
Yeah, them and the people over there in the land of Nod.
Giant flood.
Giant flood.
Giant flood, warm water. Warm water.
Heat problem? What?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm a little bit overheated.
What the hell?
And the
Yes,
36-inch
Jay,
tip
that's
was
exactly
from the
what happened.
finger on the.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah. And look, we have these tests to prove that he did it. These are actual DNA tests from his pet rocks that came back conclusive for giantivity.
Yeah. I mean, they look like Microsoft Word documents, but
But
exactly.
yeah.
Lung was the lung I showed next to the one that was bleeding. Now, hold on a second. And here they came out.
My eyes are bleeding.
Homo
right now.
sapien, da 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 da. Now you can come here and read all this special stuff. Now, the one that actually did the original research. I don't want to show his name because they attacked him. But this is all the reports. Now, Eaton Biolabs,
Helpful. So helpful.
I don't want to
Rodger.
show his name, but here's his name. Here's where he works.
Well, he didn't though. Did he? I mean, is he gonna pull a Kent on us? Because that's what Kent
I was gonna
does.
say that's like really Kid Hoven-y.
But Kent never says, "I don't want to show you his name." Kent just says, "Here's his name and his phone number, and sometimes his address and a PO box." Like I've seen all of those.
Yeah.
Say fax number. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Sciences in Union, New Jersey. All they did was take whatever sequences he gave them, and they matched them up in a database, and they said, yeah, they were human. And this is what they came back: Homo sapien, mitochondrial, and that's all we look for. All I wanted him to do, I said, all I care about is getting an absolute certainty that these are human or not, one way or the other. I don't care. And that's exactly what was done. And they came back with. This was not a cheap test. This was a very, very sophisticated test. These are all the, I don't know, they don't mean much to me. The CTA.
I don't. Does anybody know what this is? Doc, do you know what this is?
I could. That it looks like a chromatogram.
But don't those
says
typically
it is.
come with X-axes?
Typically,
Or is the top?
Chromatogram of DNA sequences obtained for a 36-inch
I don't know. I
sample
only worked
using
with it
primers.
with minerals. I've never worked with it with DNA. I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. But I'm not seeing an X-axis, at least on the bottom. The top maybe, or a Y-axis. So.
No,
X-axis
those
and
are not there.
Y-axis.
I don't know what this is at the top here, but it is not a Y-axis or an X-axis.
Well, it could technically maybe be an X-axis, but I don't think so.
I mean, yeah, normally they're labeled, but you could just say, this is that. But the Y-axis, though.
It's invisible ink. There we go. I solved it.
You know what? This is why they pay you the big bucks to work at the Genius School.
I mean, what we have are the results of some sort of analysis, purportedly, but we don't have any evidence that the samples that were used in said analysis are actually from these freaking rocks. I mean, we don't have any, there's no presentation about the preparation of the samples or anything else. I mean, it's just, okay, we'll take your word for it, Rodger. You sent stone to a lab and they came back with human DNA.
Well, yeah, I mean, Rodger is he's a fundy, right? That's what you just say that it happened.
It's not clear to me, actually. The number of times that he brings up the flood without a strong track record of then deviating to the religious stuff. Maybe it's because those aren't the streams I watch or something, but it's not totally clear to me that religion is a big thing for him. It probably is.
Well, it's pretty
But-
damn
I mean-
weird religion if he's got one. Let's just put it that way.
Well, I mean,
it's like
We've
yeah,
all
I mean,
spoken
and
with
we're
Christians,
going on
right?
like his. I'm just I'm with Doc. I'm just going on all the times and all of the times that he's mentioned the flood. Like usually when people are interested in actual science, they don't bring up mythological occurrences. But you're right. He could be.
He never mentions Noah.
Yeah.
It's the flood. I get the sense that he thinks it happened 12,000 years ago. Something Younger Dryas, and that's all I have because I watched Mini Minuteman series on Graham Hancock's series. So yeah.
All right, let's go.
Geez, the little particles that make up DNA and their sequences. This is how they sequence this. I don't know. This is for the 36-inch tip for the A1 and 4F samples. And they had several different elutions they used, they call it, which, I don't know, it picks up on different intensities. I got to be honest with you, I do not know exactly how this works. All I wanted them to do was to tell me one way, 100% one way or the other, and back it up with documentation. No, just, it looks like this or no. And I did discuss it with them. And there was no question whatsoever what it was. As far as I'm concerned, it was 100% certainty. There's some more if you want to come back and read this.
I don't.
PCR conditions used for all reactions follow the procedure established and blah, 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 blah. And then all the different temperatures and this was not...
He doesn't even know what it is.
yeah.
I mean, okay.
Again, we don't have any. What were the samples that you sent? I mean, you're telling us that you sent stone dust to these people, but was it? I mean, it's difficult to extract DNA, ancient DNA from anything.
Well, certainly with that attitude.
Yeah, I suppose.
Just got to believe stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say on screen we have a new high score for Windowception. He's got
Oh my
like 8
god! Wow.
mad skills. But the tab density up top,
All right.
very
yeah.
reasonable.
Very reasonable. Yeah. Way to go, Rodger.
15-minute test. Anyway, I think I made my case that my stuff
You haven't.
is absolutely gigantic. And it appears to have come from this great worldwide flood of hot water. Velikovsky had everybody on Earth record the same thing. Venus was literally came out of Jupiter.
What?
What?
Hey! Whoa, Rodger!
Where did that come from?
Where did this come from?
Oh man!
I mean, I knew it was going to be something stupid when he said literally.
Oh,
I was not
You'll
prepared
excuse
for
me,
that
I have a
non
sword
sequitur.
that has a date with my gray matter.
I mean,
there's a hotline you can call. Okay, it's trust me, it'll get better.
1-800-HITMEN Anonymous.
I mean, Athena came out of the head of Zeus. There's that. That's well documented.
But the flood was full of hot water, and because Venus literally came out of Jupiter is the thing after the because.
Wait,
and the thing before the because.
Did it
was
come out of the
hot
Great
water.
Red Spot? Did it come out of the Great Red Spot?
Well, I mean, the hemorrhoid came
Where
from
else?
somewhere, my man.
That would make too
Where
much
else?
sense. We're talking
Where's-
about Rodger. Like, wow.
Oh, 10 out of 10. Can't recommend.
Wow.
Oh,
This is an epic ending for Rodger. Oh,
it is. Do we want to let him finish?
No, he can't beat that.
Because he's
no, it's
he
like
has
what, half a minute. No, let's just
he has a minute and 30
let's
seconds
just all
roughly.
marinate on that ending.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean,
Seriously.
I mean,
You know, I want to give
I'm
this
kinda-
man 10 out of PETA because he just euthanized my brain cells.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you gotta end on a high note. You know, like let's just
Oh, Rodger's definitely high.
I
I
wish I
mean,
was high.
like, honestly, resolving action is good. This is why Breaking Bad was like the best TV show of all time, because it had its climax not in the last episode, but firmly in the middle of the last season, and it had proper resolving action. It was great.
Okay.
Sorry, just saying.
no. You know what? People know where to find Rodger. People know where to find Rodger. Doc Dino, where do people find you?
I don't know. I feel
Yeah, at the moment.
I feel like I need to make a brief visit to the asylum. Dr. Dino. I do painful streams like this myself. I have another schedule for tomorrow. Come on by, it's fun.
I will be there.
I might have to make it a drinking. I don't know what to cover. I don't know how to top this.
Just cover mud. Just, the living flesh mud.
Rodent flesh.
Yeah.
I mean, all of geology is just constant necrosis, I guess. I don't know.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So, do you just do the weekly streams, or?
I occasionally upload videos about dinosaurs that I think are cool. I've done a few responses to creationists, stuff like that. I don't know, whatever I'm in the mood for and whatever I have time for.
Yeah, you have a video on your channel, and the guy, I really did think he was a Poe. He talked like he was like out of a cartoon, and I think you were talking him into understanding how the world is not flat or something weird, and he was just like, oh.
Or was it my Arbirds Dinosaurs debate? That was a fun
Oh no, yeah, it was that one, or I think so. It was. I gotta find it because it was
Might be
on
thinking-
it was a Discord one, and I just saw it
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
It was a debate where I actually managed to change my opponent's
Right,
mind.
it was
So,
the
Whoa, what?
Arbors Dinosaurs. Yeah, and it was only like 30 minutes or something.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
happens when you change their mind.
he conceded like 15 minutes in.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Props.
it
That-
was.
I mean, to be fair to him, it sounded like he had just never actually been presented with the evidence before, and I showed him the evidence. And he was like, "Huh, that makes sense."
Yeah, but it takes a certain I don't know, maturity on some axis to be able to go into a adversarial interaction and be willing on any level to come away with your mind changed. Like that's not easy to do, I don't think.
No, and it's not, especially publicly like that. And he was a great sport about it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, yeah, you were completely right. It's always going to be fun for you. I'm playing with you, but no, that was a great conversation. I really thought it was like a kind of conversations at their finest.
Well, thank you.
Because you were really conciliatory. You weren't like, yeah, fucking on you, liberal.
What is this on your channel? I can link the specific.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think
Which
I
one
have
is it?
here.
Arbirds Dinosaurs. I'll send it in the
Our
private
birds,
chat.
dinosaurs.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
linked it because
Oh,
I
nice.
The
think
debate
everybody.
I want to actually have.
This is how you have a
again, 'cause it was
conversation.
fun.
Everybody should do this.
Oh, okay, nice.
I actually did a video I really enjoyed where I debunked standing for truth on, but basically the same topic. That was fun.
I don't understand what the problem is. Understanding that dinosaurs evolved
Because
and are
if you-
still around.
Something about changing kinds.
Oh yeah, dumbassery. Forgot.
It's changing kinds, and it's the insistence on a young Earth vision.
Yeah, and a lot of there's a certain strain and a few young Earth creationists who manage to realize that you can concede things which are obviously true, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you concede everything else, which is also, to be clear, obviously true. But
Yeah.
the birds and dinosaurs thing, like, it's not an argument that matters. Unless you're just there to fight, which is what, like, people like Ken Ham are like. But, like, Peter. I like Peter. Peter, he doesn't care if birds are dinosaurs. He thinks the Earth is 6,000 years old, so he's wrong about that. But
All right, Stephanie, who are you? Where are you? And what do you have coming up this week?
I don't know what I have coming up this week. Who knows? I've got fixing boat covers to do. I might do some streaming. I don't know. I might do some streaming while sewing. I might do... Who knows what I'll do this week. But whatever I do, you can find on my channel, which is Steffi Kath, and I don't know where else I'll be, but I can pop up anywhere.
Yeah, and everybody's linked in the box below the stream too. Hey, you got anything coming up anytime soon?
no, I don't actually. I've been working on my bingo website. Hopefully, we'll be able to incorporate it in on this. I might actually talk to Fearmonger about testing it again this week because I've made some improvements, but it may not be ready for that. For Dapper's stream on Tuesday. But my hope is eventually that I will have like a site where we can like put in lists and stuff of all the words, and we can like host bingo games and different things, and it can be like a bingo hub for all of the different people in the community. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, everybody seems really excited about it. So I don't know. Hopefully, you can get that.
We tested it. Yeah, we tested it last week, but it was bumpy.
You were talking on, I think, in Paulogia's Toast to Toast stream about that, because I know they do a bingo thing for Toast to Toast.
Yeah, but they can only have 30 cards, and this
right.
The solution that we already use on Dapper's channel already doesn't have a card limit because I have a premium account on the website, so I'm like able to host it. So I actually need somebody needs to put me in touch with Paulogia, so that because I can provide a better bingo solution than the one they were using.
I can
that
probably help you there.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, you know what? Get in touch with Titan. I know that he, when Gerd did this thing, he's the one that got it over to Paulogia. So
I can also ask Dapper Vichanti if I need to, probably. So
I can put you in touch as well.
Or Steph. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no need to reinvent the wheel.
All right. Well, I do want to thank everyone for coming on the show. And I don't have anything planned this week, but we will be back on Bad Science Sunday next week. Hope to see you all there. I also, want to... a lot of stuff is going on overseas, and my heart goes out to the innocent. So I do want to remind everyone that Hamas is not Palestine and Slava Ukraine.